Chamisa, the pattern actor, Silokan Yakuachisa Maeda, ya, Pisa, Matzos, boys, Lefora de Kukasira in Samakanika Panauze Kufoka, and defendega Kunika Kunyango Shikachisa, in any kind of Shika and defendega quit. Now my only no pick up Lefora de Kukasira in Samakanika Panauze Kufoka, and defendega Kunika Kunyango Shikachisa, in any kind of Shika and defendega quit. Now my only no pick up Barikova no de Karabamba, Panovarira Matoti Kotsoka Kumba, Manje Mafansi, Anoshiramba, Munote Wande Makeni Mukatsoka Kumba, Cyclone do good ngoma, do sakane chidi wane makoma, Tapa ingirandi do pinda choma, Aiwa, asise kuchuma, Lefora de Kukasira inini samakani kapana uze kufoka, Andifendega kunika kunyango shikachisa, inini kandi no shika, Andifendega quit, na my only no pika, Lefora de Kukasira inini samakani kapana uze kufoka, Andifendega kunika kunyango shikachisa, inini kandi no shika, Andifendega quit, na my only no pika, Tachika Banchimpo, uno.
Uyo uko kuno apo pano mama wanna get it nice.
Right, 15 February 2022, and today I'm joined by my usual guest, Dr. Feddious Mutenheri from Botswana. How are you, sir?
Good evening, Gambakwe. I'm very well. How are you? And as usual, we greet our viewers.
Yes, it's a very sad day today. One of the Zimbabwean coaches here in South Africa was shot dead. I think it was today or yesterday. And I want to pass my condolences to their family. And I think it's getting worse. How is Botswana there in terms of crime?
It actually is sad to hear that that event you are talking about in South Africa. Here in Botswana, I would say relatively peaceful, but of late in the past year or two, we have seen, the kind of crime which is actually instigated by people from South Africa there, because you will hear that some of the people that are engaged in armed robbery and all that stuff have got South African roots. So it's actually a bad thing, though it is not very rife, but quite a few reports that we are hearing as well.
Okay, so that's Charles Yohane was hijacked and they killed him. I think that was yesterday or today. So very sad about that. But let's move to the next and most important topic. Nelson Chamisa, CCC president, came out and he's going to be launching his new political party, and he's also going to be launching the campaign for his candidates a week after President Mnangagwa had that great launch in Epworth. What are your thoughts? Is this a good move? How is it going to go for Nelson Chamisa?
Well, Gambakwe, thanks for that question. Well, for me, yes, this is a moment which many people, those who support the Citizens Coalition, those who are sympathetic to the Citizens Coalition, and on the other side, those who fear or who are looking to see what strategy they have. It's an event that people look forward to. But in a game of chess, yes, Mr. Mnangagwa and his team launched their campaign, and yeah, we saw the numbers. Of course, with ZANU-PF, you would know that it's always about busing people from all over the country, and because they have the machinery, the resources, state resources, by the way, to do that, they always come with a show of force to show that basically you'd recall the presser that Mchangwa had. They had even called it the mother of all rallies in the urban areas. So yes, for Chamisa, it's a chess move that next Sunday or the coming Sunday they've decided we are going to have our own, to also show that yes, we are a force to reckon with. But what my worries obviously are that if the events we have seen in the past weeks are to continue, that citizen coalition members are arrested or are hindered from carrying out their activities freely, such as recently we saw its vice president, Tendai Biti, was accosted by the police. And of course, that is meant to instill fear, because Tendai Biti had been really galvanizing the Harare East electorate. So my worry is, as we go to the 22nd, will the regime allow Nelson Chamisa's rally to go peacefully without any disruption? Are they going to be allowed to organize and to rally their people to come to Zimbabwe grounds, or we are going to see these, you know, tactics of fear being instilled in order to even stop those who might think of coming? However, all things being equal, if he was allowed, I think this is the time where it would show which two political parties really command the biggest support, and particularly this is urban areas. We've seen pictures. If you look at the 2018 election, when Chamisa had a rally at Zimbabwe grounds, overwhelmingly attended. The pictures are even still there, and this is what we expect to see, a huge sea of yellow, descending on Zimbabwe grounds. And of course, this will not go down well with ZANU PF, but we are yet to see what will happen.
Okay, let's look at the entertainment. President Mnangagwa brought out Chill Sport, the young guys from that stable. They did very well. They've got a huge following in areas like Mbare. In fact, among the young Zimbabweans, they've got a huge following. Who is Chamisa going to bring out?
Okay, sorry, what was the last question? The last part, I didn't hear that.
I'm saying President Mnangagwa brought out popular groups, Chill Sport, and all the young people who were the young performers. Who is Chamisa going to bring out to match that?
Okay. Again, Gambakwe, such a brilliant question that you are bringing. If Zimbabwe would allow for a free, fair contestation, and where we see, these two political parties bringing out, what they can do freely in an unrestricted environment, I think it is available. There are many groups available to Nelson Chamisa. As an aside, I will tell you that even Douglas Monzora, I think he brought out one of the Chimpetus, and we saw about 300 people at his so-called major rally. Yeah, but Nelson Chamisa, by himself, I think he is a charismatic crowd puller who can pull the crowds by himself. But obviously, I know that in Zimbabwe, I mean, fear could also be within the artists whom the CCC might want to invite, if they were to be, presumed that they are sympathetic to that party, and that might stop the CCC from bringing whoever they want, which is a terrible and a very sad part of our country. Look at how the ZANU-PF rally went without incident, simply because they control all the apparatus that have got the power to stop the CCC from carrying out their own activities. So naturally, Chamisa can bring anyone, but it depends on whether those people are going to be allowed to come and attend.
Okay. No, I get it. Now let's go to the launch of the party. We have not seen the executive. We have not seen the constitution. We have not seen the structures. What's happening there?
Gambakwe, I think there is a part where you cut. I didn't hear what is the question. What is what?
What is happening with the structures, with setting up the political party? The structures, the executive, the vice president, the secretary general, the spokespersons. Who is who in the CCC? Because at the moment, there's not been any announcements.
Okay. Gambakwe, I think it's part of the debate we have, or the discussion we have had. The CCC currently, I think, are having to strategically play their cards, on their chests, simply because they are worried about, a comeback plan from ZANU-PF, which we have always seen. But remember, look, they have a constitution which they used to register at ZEC, and that should not be a worry. And it's out there. Probably it's up to you, the media, to show what that constitution looks like. Maybe it still looks like the one they were using when they were MDC Alliance, or it has totally new aspects of it. They are still in the process of building. Remember, even when the MDC itself was formed in 1999, it started with a convention somewhere in February, to which they built up to its launch in September. So this should not worry those who support that party, and I'm sure at the right time, given the time, they will soon organize a congress towards probably the election of 2023. Right now, I think one other reason why that would not be done as quick or as fast as you would want or others would want is because finance, in terms of resources, CCC started a campaign of raising funds from its supporters, and that process needs those resources. And once those resources are now available, I am sure they will get to that. There is nothing amiss. I will repeat that there is nothing amiss with them not having or what you can say newly announced structures. But as you would know, besides that, they started a new thing, a new party. There have been structures which were there, which migrated from the MDC Alliance, and one would assume that those structures are holding fort while they prepare for this very close by-election. And after that, I think we shall see a Congress in which those structures will be set up. And remember, Gambakwe, I have told you that this coalition, the fact that it's a coalition of citizens, I think there are surprises there, and they are holding to those surprises, which might come towards the real watershed election of 2023. And my suspicion, Gambakwe, I would repeat this, my suspicion is that this party, the CCC, is going to shock many in the body politic of Zimbabwe in terms of who shall be included in their structures at national level and in various other parts. Because the fact that it has been in the planning for a long time and ZANU-PF could not pick up that there was such a huge party which will resonate with the majority. So let's give them time. Let's not force matters or think that there is anything amiss with the fact that they haven't announced. I'm sure they will announce. Let this test of the by-election come so that the CCC shows what kind of strength it has, and surely we will see an amazing, and I am predicting a very surprising a make-up of this coalition.
Okay. I think, Doc, let's bring this to an end. And obviously, I think it's a big move by Nelson Chamisa. He is putting all his cards on the table, having this rally this early in the setting up of his party, which doesn't have structures, which is not yet properly functional. I think it's taking a very, very big risk. Things could go terribly wrong this weekend. But let's see what happens, given the short notice, given the fact that there is a lot of unhappiness about candidates. I foresee a lot of internal problems. That is from my side. But let's see what happens. We'll all be watching on Saturday. We'll probably try to stream that event. Is there anything else you want to say before we close?
Well, obviously, I will have to comment on what you have just said. In any big political organization, Gambakwe, there is always, because you seem to want to term that there are going to be huge internal problems. In fact, I think in ZANU-PF there are even worse of those, and obviously it is the fact that they are in power that these ructions have not imploded. But ZANU-PF now has shown it is. I mean, there is always this kind of talk which seems to suggest that it is only the CCC, which was MDC alliance, which has a tendency to implode because there are internal problems. ZANU-PF has shown us that in fact it is the one that implodes so much, from the times of Tekere to the times of the Zud lady, what is it, that lady, and then we have the Maimijuru implosion, we have the Cholocho declaration, we have the Mnangagwa when he was fired. We know what has been happening to the coup, leading up to the coup. Internal, in fact, those ones are even dangerous because they have led to even physical harm, and at times even deaths. But in MDC, it is totally a democratic process. Democracy does not mean you have to sing like a choir. Democracy means that you have to differ, and when you differ, that makes democracy the more exciting. And I think we should not even say a party that does not have structures. It is a new party which is in the making, and it is supposed to be given time to create its structures, very strong structures, which will symbolize that it is a real coalition. A coalition of who? Of what? A coalition of citizens. Who are the citizens? The citizens are the ordinary people of Zimbabwe, the churches, the civil society, other political parties, including homeless ZANU-PF supporters, some who are in South Africa, some who are placed all over the world, and every Jack and Jill is part of the citizens, and they are really preparing for that. Isn't it? They've been dead. They dead. Nelson Chamisa to say, "Une plan here? Do you have a plan?" And now Chamisa realized that they wanted to see his plan on the table, and he is going to be giving it, I think, step by step, one by one, so that towards the election, which I'm sure they are thinking is the end game of this whole political shenanigans. Then they will release the game plan, and in that game plan, Gambako, I've already told you, I am predicting that there will be surprises which will shock the politics of Zimbabwe. But all I can say is that yes, this Sunday we await to see what the CCC will do, if they really indeed are going to paint the whole of Harare, the whole of Zimbabwe yellow, which is the expectation of people. And I think with the work that they have done, Gambakwe, it shows that they are organized. I'm responding to where you said, I think they are not organized. We have seen, campaigns in various parts of the country with, young legislators like Cecilia Chimbiri, Joanna Mamombe, and other youngsters really pushing with the youth. In fact, we have seen the youth at the forefront of this, and they are organized, Gambakwe. Very, very organized, I think. And this Sunday, obviously, if they are given their right by the state to organize, I can assure you that there will be a thunderous and a memorable gathering that will announce and pronounce the arrival of the CCC as one major, a party that will shake the politics of Zimbabwe in recent times. I think that those are the words I can say, Gambako.
Thank you very much, Dr. Feddious Mutenheri. I think let's bring this to an end now, and let's watch what happens this weekend when Chamisa has his first rally for CCC. And already there were many issues. You saw the tweet by Job Scala, and there's a lot of debate about what was happening there with that tweet that he put out. Anyway, there's a lot that we can talk about. So let's look and see what happens on Saturday. And then when we come back next week on Tuesday, we can continue with this analysis. I think CCC is not yet a fully formed party. We agree that it's a new party. We are going to see more drama as they attempt to set up their structures. And I think at the moment, let's see what happens on Saturday and then continue to analyze as we go. Thank you very much, Doc.
Thank you, and a very good night to you, Gambako.
Ndetwa cyclone, ndakadai ndori champion, zvaipa. Boshi papita. Chamisa, vipatan eta, zilogani yekuwachisa maeta. Ya, pisa. Matzos, boys. Levora ndekugadzira ini nisamakanika panauze kufoka. Andifendeka kundika kunyango shikachisa. Ini nikandinoshika andifendeka kuita. Na mai ondi nopika. Levora ndekugadzira ini nisamakanika panauze kufoka. Andifendeka kundika kunyango shikachisa. Ini nikandinoshika andifendeka kuita. Na mai ondi nopika. Bariko vanonondikara pamba. Panovharira matoti kotsoka kumba. Manje mafansi anozviramba. Munotemwa nemakeni mukadzoka kumba. Cyclone ndokuti ngoma. Ndosaka ndichidiwa nevakoma. Ndabva Ingira nditopinda choma. Aiwa asisi zvekuchuma. Levora ndekugadzira ini nisamakanika panauze kufoka. Andifendeka kundika kunyango shikachisa. Ini nikandinoshika andifendeka kuita. Na mai ondinopika. Levora ndekugadzira ini nisamakanika panauze kufoka. Andifendeka kundika kunyango shikachisa. Ini nikandinoshika andifendeka kuita. Na mai ondinopika. Ndachika panzvimbo unonzwa nemtsindo. Ndine mafanzi hopo ini kwete zvepondo. Vese vanoungana ndichipiwa sando. Bla pisa wanzwa mtsindo. Aninga inini amsanyepa kuna. Inzwa shingoma chakuna kongi lula. Trendsetter ati iwe shingoma ichopula. Ona chakutambwa nevanhu vakwegura. Levora ndekugadzira ini nisamakanika panauze kufoka. Andifendeka kundika kunyango shikachisa. Ini nikandinoshika andifendeka kuita. Na mai ondinopika. Levora ndekugadzira ini nisamakanika panauze kufoka. Andifendeka andifendeka kundika kunyango shikachisa inenika ndinoshika ndifendeka kuita namai ondinopika bariko vananondigara pamba vanovharira madhodhi kotsoka kumba manje mafanzi anozviramba munotengwa nemakeni mukatsoka kumba saikloni ndokuti ngoma ndosaka ndichidiwa nevakoma ndabva ingira nditopinda choma aiwa asisi zvekuchuma levhora ndikugadzira ini nisamakanika panaudze kufuka andifendeka kundika kunyange zvikachisa ini nika ndinosvika andifendeka kuita namai ondinopika levhora ndikugadzira ini nisamakanika panaudze
Ay, 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 ay.